it's Tuesday again, and you know what that means. It's IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again, everyone. I am Gary Gonzo. Welcome to P1 broadcast coverage of Round 6 of Season 4 of 2024 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split coming to you from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. We got the full crew here tonight. We got Stevie, who just flew in. This is a home race for Justin. So he just had to take this short commute down the interstate to get here in the virtual world. And LGN is here. And LGN and I have been talking about Las Vegas history all week, all night long. Of course, one of his racing heroes got their lone win here, and one of our good racing pals got their lone race win here in real life as well. So welcome, everybody. Stevie, we're at a very hot Las Vegas.
Indeed so, and it's something we definitely expect when we come here to Vegas, and it's not just the desert heat in that sense, it's going to be the track as well, because Las Vegas is one of those mile-and-a-half tracks where it does tend to be a bit of a pack race for a good lot of while, so these guys are going to be scrambling for track position. So I get the feeling that, as we normally see with Las Vegas, it's going to be one heck of a show, and some guys are going to have to take some gambles, and in a way, it's quite, I wonder if it's a coincidence or not, if the week that we had it was this particular week. As anyone in the IndyCar community knows all too well, Las Vegas has a tragic reputation among the IndyCar faithful, but in the virtual world, we don't run that risk, and we're going to have a lot of guys going to be going for it. They're going to be pretty aggressive off the start, I would imagine, and we'll see as the track rubbers in. It's 116 degrees, so not quite as hot as it was at Atlanta, one of the last mile and a half I was at anyway. But it's still going to be a bit of an affair with the tires, I would think, and I think some guys are going to be really aggressive at the start of this race.
JP, a 45.72 strike the field.
Yeah, didn't think we'd see that type of strength of field here, especially at my hometown track. Also, I had to go the back way because some idiots decided to play stupid on the interstate, so I had to go back up. I had to go south on 15, take the Craig Road exit, go all the way out to Las Vegas Boulevard, and come the back way because idiots don't know what they're doing out on the interstate. But that's mainly tradition for Vegas here on the interstate. People don't know how to drive. But in reality here, it may be 78 with 116 track temp, 78 for air temperature-wise, but in reality, it's only 91 degrees out here right now.
Ooh.
And we just completed qualifying, and Brian Campbell, again, on a roll on the pole here to start. And we'll get in today's starting lineup. Here, just 1 second. We get a couple cars loaded on the grid here, and I'll turn it over to Stevie to read the lineup.
And on the pole, the qualifying beast strikes again. Brian Campbell with a fantastic run. Puts the number 8 car on the front row. Alongside him, look who it is. It's Brandon Trost, our old friend and championship contender. Starting off second, Seb Alexander has a great qualifying run here. He'll start third alongside Trey Shadid. Another solid run for him, no less. Adriano Forporti will start off fifth. Great run so far for the 12 crew, and he'll be alongside our old friend Mark Murphy in the number 2. That's in sixth spot. Mitch David in the 14 will start seventh alongside PDF. Pablo Diaz-Francis in the 5 machine in eighth. Clendy, Kyle Clemworth, will be 9th in the number 7 alongside Ty Quilla's number 4, rounding out the top 10. Josh Ward in the 9 will start 11th alongside Matt Hollowbro. There's a name I haven't seen in a while, personally. An old familiar face of mine will be starting 12th in the number 6. Michael Newcomer, great name, by the way. He will start his 20 machine in 13th alongside Jacob Collins in the 11th. Daniel Resch, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, in 15th spot in the 16 machine. And flip the numbers around, Bruno Romanzini's number 15 starts 16th. Jordan Kernow in the 18th, number 18 car, I should say, will start 17th alongside Andrew Belling in the 17, starting 18th. Again, flipping the numbers around on the row. Stephen Lee, the last of the drivers supposed to qualifying time, will start 19th in the 13 machine. There's a lot of work for him to do. And Bren Roberts, the only driver with no qualifying time, shotgun on the field in the 19. And I'm looking at Brian Campbell's paint job there, and oh boy, does that bring back some memories.
I will say this, though. Can we say Michael is a newcomer to the series?
He's actually, I think it's like his third race, but yeah, it's good to see.
I know I've seen him a couple of times
it's good
before.
to see new folks here making the lineup.
And the dad joke went over everybody's head.
No, I got the dad joke.
But yeah, one thing, I did get a chance to test out the setup. Over the course of the run, it starts to get a tad bit understeery, so you're going to see some guys actually play with the throttle and use that brake pedal.
Indeed so. It's not very common you see the brake pedal used on tracks bigger than a mile in the IndyCar series, but you may well see that here tonight because these guys are going to be adjusting for the conditions as it goes on. And we'll keep an eye on track temp, see if it rises or lowers over the course of the run.
113.
Yep, 113 as it stands. But these guys, they definitely know the game very well, literally and metaphorically. And we'll see what curveballs that Las Vegas can throw at them. It's the gambling capital of the world, and some of these guys, especially towards the front row here, they're going to be taking some gambles early on in this race to see if they can make it at the end. 70 laps at Las Vegas. Brian Campbell in that beautiful William Ras Dan Weldon homage, starting from the pole. Very fitting to see, I would personally say.
Great.
And he gets on the throttle. Green flag flying. Campbell out to a big jump over Trost as right now Alexander and Shadid, and going back there too wide, too deep, going into one.
Great start by Brian Campbell there as they go through 1 and 2. We see a number of cars getting side by side. They're starting to fan out just a little bit. They try and find their way down the backstretch to get through the clean air. A couple of check up there with Mark Murphy having to back out. He got caught up in the dirty air on that low line there as they come off of turn number 4.
So far, so good, and Brandon Trost is caught right up on the gearbox of Brian Campbell as they complete lap 1. Campbell holding that low line. That's going to be the preferred one for the defensive posture. Brandon Trost, meanwhile, he's going to try and get that momentum on the high side and try and get Campbell to burn his tires off at the start of this race.
You see in a couple of cars near the mid-pack running up against that wall. You can do that, but over the course of the run, you want to get towards that bottom lane because that'll be the fast way around here, as is tradition, in an open-wheel car here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway as they come off at turn number 2.
Trost still hounding Campbell there. He's got a bit of a run up the corner, but it won't be enough to stay alongside him as they go into 3. And Adriano Fraporti has gained 2 spots around Alexander and Trey Shadid. Shadid's actually having a rough start from 4th to 6th. But Adriano Fraporti in the number 12, a very good start for him. And PDF, Pablo Diaz-Francis, on the low side of Seb Alexander, he is going to follow through.
Yeah, he's got the 8 of the draft there. Big bump in the middle of 1 and 2. A lot of drivers down low don't like it, so you'll see them go like a lane higher, at least through 1 and 2. They can go right to the bottom through 3 and 4. Ooh, tight corners right there.
Little bit of an understeer moment from Pablo Diaz-Francis. He had to back off there. Seb Alexander gets back around him. And Trey Shadid seeing that loss of momentum there because that's kind of a tricky transition there off of turn number 4. And PDF learned that one the hard way as another car ducking out of line right towards the back. I believe that's Josh Ward in a battle with Matt Hollebro in that sort of circuit board livery there in the number 6.
He's so far high up in the high in the turns, he can almost get a seat in the grandstands.
Yeah, Josh Ward, that was actually that distinct livery there, as Kyle Clemworth is in that sort of baby blue number 7. Trying to catch up to Mark Murphy while holding these 3 at bay and looking behind Romanzini. Romanzini taking it 3 wide. Not quite enough to his benefit there as Andrew Belling in that Alpine livery up on the high line holding the spot for now. And now here goes Romanzini on the low side.
Andrew, we can help you find an IndyCar livery if you need one.
Three wide again as they go up into turn number 3 here. It's a tight squeeze. Murphy in the middle, and he has to back out of it, and he crossover moves there. Here we go again.
Got really close there. Clendy's the ultimate winner on that one. And Hollenbraw now has to deal with everybody else behind him. Raylan Quilla. Quilla's had a bad start in this race so far. Stephen Lee now getting around him for 14th spot. A rough start for the 4 crew. But I'm looking at the leaders once again. It's still pretty packed up here. Brandon Trost still trying to get up on that high side of Brian Campbell, as PDF trying to squeeze up on the high line of Adriano Fraporti for 3rd.
5 cars under a blanket here between Campbell, Trost, Fraporti, Diaz Francis, as well as Seb Alexander side by side, 2 rows deep, going through 3 and 4 here. Trost trying to get the run on the outside of Brian Campbell. It's not going to be enough, but they're still side by side between Pablo Diaz Francis as well as Adriano Fraporti as they go through 1.
PDF has got a good run up on that high line there. He used it to great effect, and he gets around Fraporti on the high side. Now he's going to put the pressure on Trost, weaving all around there. Nearly gets squeezed into the turn 3 wall, but PDF having second line.
A little bit more in the Pruitt fade there.
I think we're going to call that the Trost fade from now on. 3 wide as they go up into 1.
PDF trying to get that high line to work well, but as we were talking about, we're expecting later on in this going, that's not going to be as viable, as Brian Campbell still holding that preferred low line. Charles way up high there.
Oh my God. Brandon is giving every bit of dirty air and every warning to PDF about no, you're not going to go up there. You're not going to do that.
Yeah, Trost is not going to let that one slide easily, and especially I wager that he's going to be putting track position at a premium for his strategy here, as once again 3 wide into 3.
Temporarily 3 wide as they came up through 3 and 4. Trost still fighting his way to throw the dirty air on Pablo Diaz Francis as they come past the start finish line into 1. Trost moves up just a little bit of the Pruitt fade on Pablo Diaz Francis. Diaz Francis moves back to the bottom to get that run again as they come off of turn number 2. And he's going to try and force it in 3 wide. Is Trost going to throw the block on him? It's not going to be enough, but I see another instance of 3 wide behind him.
Riding with Seb Alexander, watching this battle, but man, there's action all over the place.
And Clendy's the big winner in that 3 wide exchange from 8th to 6th, and now putting the pressure on Seb Alexander for 5th spot. Good start so far for our old friend Clendy.
Perfect start for Clendy as it goes on to the high side again through 3 and 4, almost running that Kyle Larson line. That's where the clean air is momentarily, but now he has to try and find another way to get around Seb Alexander while they're still 3 wide again as they are up in the front between the top 3.
And they're starting to, and the top 3 there are starting to get a little bit of a gap there on Adriano Fraporti and Seb Alexander there. I believe, I think Adriano may have cooked his tires a little bit more in the whole tussle there, while the guys up front have the benefit of having clean air to work with. But Seb Alexander, Adriano Fraporti, Kyle Clemworth, they've been having to fight that dirty air pretty much the whole day so far, working lap 16.
Seb Alexander, Adriano Fraporti, and Kyle Clenworth have a front row seat to those top 3 right there. Clenworth tried to get the run on Seb Alexander as they went through 1 and 2. It was not enough. He's going to try and mount another charge again as they go through 3 and 4 with Seb Alexander on the bottom. And he falls back in line behind Seb Alexander. But don't look now. Here comes Mitch David as well as Trace Shadid joining Kyle Clenworth in this group here to make it an even bigger pack.
And I was looking further back. Hollenbraw took it 3 wide, and now it's 3 wide again. Stephen Lee, Josh Ward, and Bruno Romanzini were giving it a fight there just outside the top 10. But so action all over the place so far.
Stephen Lee up 8 spots. Clendy had to crack the throttle a little bit. He's actually breathing it going into at least 1. And watch Hollenball at that OMF sponsorship. We've talked about OMF before. Good looking car, though. I like the new dude that the All-American iRacers have on their cars.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful paint schemes they are.
Indeed so. And a lot of drivers seeming to get themselves into a rhythm as now Kyle Clemworth once again starting to look on the low side of Seb Alexander. Not quite enough just yet. But this lead battle still as close as ever as we're about to start lap number 20.
20 laps in the book up, 70 complete so far. Still no change among the top three here between Diaz Francis, Trost, and Brian Campbell. They're throwing the three-wide maneuver to cause more dirty air to the guys behind them. Clemworth gets a little bit loose going over the bumps in 1 and 2. Of course, the tunnel turn, those bumps, even in a stock car here, they can be brutal if you hit them wrong.
Yeah, very much so. He had a good run going on Seb Alexander, but the bump cost him. He's falling back into the clutches right now of Mitch David and Trey Shadid. Can he get back up there? And working that high line to get that momentum there, because Seb was using it pretty well to play defense during that whole exchange, but can Clendy get it back the same way?
Only time will tell, because right now he's under pressure from Mitch David. But of course, there's also another side-by-side battle. That is Mark Murphy and Matt Hollabaugh going through 1 and 2 side-by-side.
Here's a battle. There's a battle of the guys with a ton of starts together.
Yeah. Matt Hollabaugh gets that run on the high side, clears Mark Murphy, move him up to, I believe, ninth.
Yep. There's Stephen Lee way up in the gray up high. Getting a good run off the corner. Crossover on Murph there down the front straight of the tri-oval. And gets the pass.
Good cut move. Stephen Lee, move him up from 19th on the grid up to 10th.
Yeah,
very
nice
good
spots
for the 13.
Very good.
As the run progresses, though, you're going to see guys get more amphibious with their lines going through the corners here. But the one thing everybody's going to have to be very wary of is that pit entry coming off a turn 4. Even before they did the reconfiguration of the track here, it was a very, very tricky entrance.
And that's still true to this day. And you're going to have to you're going to have to get your downshifts just right. You're going to have to get your transition just right. And even then, it's no guarantee, especially when you're trying to get a car from over 200 miles an hour down to trying to see what they have the pit speed limit set at today, 50 miles an hour, which is faster than I thought it was going to be, but I thought it was going to be 45 or 40, which, is absolutely glacial compared to the pace that they were running just seconds ago.
Except remember, this is still the stock. You have to also remember this is still the stock car setup.
Yes, it is.
LVMS.
Yep.
It's not like Homestead or IMS where we have the open wheel configuration and the NASCAR configuration.
This is true. This is very true. And for those in the audience who don't exactly know about that, say you're coming over from stock car competition, the reason why, if you go to a track like Indianapolis or Homestead, you'll see a difference between a NASCAR configuration and an IndyCar configuration. Well, what the heck does that mean? They're the same track, aren't they? Well, the difference there is where the pit road starts. On the IndyCar side of things, they give them a lot more room to work with so that they can get themselves, and so they tend to get themselves into the pits in the entry of turn 3. When they get to the access road there, that is where the pit entrance starts. On the stock car, you can do it pretty much when you get to pit road itself and then just get it down as quickly as you possibly can. On a track like Las Vegas, where you're running in the stock car configuration here, you pretty much have to go by NASCAR rules with an Indy car that's a lot faster, a lot lighter, and a lot easier to disrupt this. Ooh, Campbell had a little bit of a blink there I just saw in his battle for the lead. But these guys, you're going to have to play it very carefully to maximize the speed you can get, but also not wrecking the car in the process.
Now, we have talked about different configurations. This track is probably in its, I think it's third iteration of being reconfigured. Okay, I wasn't sure if it was I know they went to progressive banking, but the qualifying track record is on the very old flat circuit. That's when it opened in '96, and that's still Ari Leyendyke back in the old Renard Ford days with Firestone tires, 226.4 when the track was brand new. The kart track record's held by Patrick Carpentier. Done that back in 2004, the speed of 206.1. The career wins leaders here in IndyCar history. Sebastian Bourdais leads with 2, both from the kart series, and our good friend from the Lionheart series, Richie Hearn, he has his only IndyCar win here. And LGN, your racing hero, has his win here. Eliseo Salazar.
October 11, 97 night. Wow, very night on Chile. It's like at 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. on there. So we waited for long to see win the guy. So it's very funny because the Chilean broadcasting went to Las Vegas, and it's so weird to see the radio. Oh yeah, we got. They have to move them the team to move it to the right, move it to the left. We cannot hear it. So it's fucking funny. Anyway, good race, and at least we have the dot on IndyCar race so far for now.
Yeah.
Very
Brandon
much.
Tross getting the early stop on pit road, starting the parade now. Pit road pretty early, looking to undercut.
Yep, coming in on the end of lap 30 here, so we're definitely within the fuel window now. So this seems to be an opportunity to undercut both Campbell and PDF to get back up to get himself in the race lead for the first time tonight. And he's going to have clear track ahead of him. He's got 13 seconds to catch up to a 13-second gap to Michael Newcomer, who is in 17. Who is in like. Actually, I'm reading that wrong. Newcomer being pushed on the order.
Pit road.
Newcomer
He just went
came
to pit
onto
road.
pit road.
Yep. So he maybe is going to try to experiment with that as well. But the leaders, everyone else, other than the people back in Trost and Newcomer back in 18th and 19th, everyone's still out on their initial stint. But we expect them to maybe wise it up here and see if they come to pit road sooner rather than later. But we'll see.
And already keeping an eye on lap times that these guys are achieving. Campbell in the lead at 25.4 on the last lap. The last lap for Trost, 25.1. He is 0.3 faster. This could make a massive difference in this race. I'm sure that if someone's keeping an eye on him, and they're probably telling Campbell that, hey, he's turning some quick laps here. You may want to come in at some point in the near future, especially since we've gone caution-free, barring any commentator's curse happening. But
hold on,
Campbell
circled the lap number right there. Okay, everybody, that was Steven. That's Steven's fault.
Yeah, that was my mistake, especially like. Yeah.
Can I say something about yesterday?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yesterday, Pablo won the race, the first one, from 4th position. Second was Clendy from 10th. And Clendy won the race by from 10th position, and Campbell from first came second. So only one caution for each race. So I think so the first position or the poleman should be so far for now. Should be no win the race for now.
Well,
let's see if it Campbell break. Campbell break the rule.
All right, well, Campbell is the leader, PDF second, Seb Alexander third, Clendy fourth, Mitch David up to fifth. He's up 2 spots. Trey Shadid in sixth. The mailman for Porty, he's in seventh. Murph is in eighth. Jordan Kernow in the top 10 there in that yellow car. He's in ninth. Hollandball just enters the top 10. He's in 10th. That is your top 10 right now as we run 39 of 70 in the books. If you're enjoying P1's coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split coming to you from Las Vegas, you can do us a solid and support us by subscribing to the channel. Here comes Hollandball to pit road right here. Subscribe to the channel and also make sure to ring the bell for future iRacing broadcasts here on P1. And also, just a reminder, don't forget to join LGN and myself on Thursday night, part of the Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series over on the Elite Racing Network and Elite Racing League for their 13th running of their Indy 500. We'll be joined in the booth by voice of the Indy 500, Mark Janes, as we will call the action for the a stout field of 33 starters for the ERN and the ERL coming up on Thursday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to join us. You're not going to want to miss it. And there we see Hollandball coming to pit road for a quick stop. He's down in the way. We're back to racing.
And these guys seem to be coming in one at a time here, as Seb Alexander is the next one to blink and come on the pit road on lap 41. So these guys, a lot of them seem to be really stretching the fuel limits here. I actually saw Alexander overshot his box a little bit.
Stephen Lee's on pit road.
Stephen Lee coming in next.
Yeah.
And the thing that's curious to me in this case is Campbell particularly, well, Campbell, if I play devil's advocate here, Campbell has had the best tire situation all night. He's had no one to deal with. He has a low line to work with. He's not really hurting his tires all that much. And coming in while everyone else starts to wear in their tires could be a benefit to him towards the end of the race. Is Clendy now on the low side?
This might be a planned pass by teammates.
Possibly so. These are teammates. As Campbell now back to the low side here, probably going for a swap back and forth strategy.
Pulling off the old tandem between the two teammates. Strategy I haven't seen in a long time.
Indeed. Once again, Clendy now on the low side. That seems to be what the game plan is right now. We're getting closer and closer to these guys having to come in, though. We're getting a bit lower on fuel.
Right around
and it is up on speed. I'm looking at lap times here. Campbell's back up into the 25.3s with this exchange.
Trost purple 24.8. I'm not sure exactly when he turned that, but he is holding the purple lap right now.
And he turned that purple lap, having a look back just 2 laps ago. And he is in traffic. He is in the draft of a lot of cars around him. So this is helping him as well. I wonder with these two up ahead of him.
Very low on Pablo is 4 seconds behind the group, and also 4 seconds behind Trost.
Clendy signaling he's coming in.
Clendy, nice job, really nice job.
Oh, very close stuff, but he gets it down smoothly. Kyle Clemworth has had a solid start tonight. Running up there with his teammate in the top 5. Keep it clean, Kyle. Keep it clean. And he does so.
Josh Ward looks like he's on pit road. Oh, he slides through his spot a little bit. He's going to have to back up.
Always very tricky here, going from asphalt to concrete. It's very different grip levels there, and it catches out so many drivers, even those with experience.
Trost got the jump on Clendy. He got the cut on him.
Indeed, he has. Clendy getting back up to speed here, and that's definitely not what he wanted to see. That number 1 car just zooming off into the distance.
Pit road. Mitch David now picks up the lead. Brian Campbell coming to pit road.
Campbell running on the concrete there, trying to shave off as much of the track as humanly possible. And comes to a stop right at the very end of pit road. Good job.
All right.
Smooth stop, being a real-life IndyCar.
What was that?
Seb Alexander almost ran into the back of Andrew Belling as they went through turn 3 and 4. It was a huge run. He had to back out of it. He almost turned Andrew and caused a major collision. So we got lucky that there was no caution there, but a little bit of excitement as they went into turn 3, the last
check it out. Let's check it out here as he comes out. He got a good run with Seb. Goes to the bottom. And he thought he'd maybe get 3 wide, but he got faded on, and he had to. Yeah, he definitely had to check up. And you're right, he did a good job at avoiding a wreck there.
And looking at the exchange of pit stops, I will note Brian Campbell is the ultimate loser on this whole exchange here. It's now Trost, Clendy, PDF, and Campbell being the top 4 effectively on the track. Trost now in 7th spot as everyone's cycling through the stops. Mitch David now coming on to pit road.
Murph, Collins, and Quilla has not stopped yet. So the top 3 have not stopped.
Mark Murphy signaling he's coming in for the go-go juice as well. Lap 52. Murphy, Collins, Quilla, and Romanzini and Resch, I should say, are coming off of pit road now. So Murphy, Collins is staying out, and so is Quilla.
Oh, we got a gaggle of cars over here off of turn number 4 between the top 15 or top 15 here. It's a gaggle for sure. They're throwing haymakers, trying to go 3 wide and everything as they come off of turn number 2 with a car coming off a pit road in front of them, right in front of the field.
Cornell. No. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I thought Cornell was going to go 3 wide there for a moment, going into 3 with room running out.
Yeah, that was Mitch David. That was unwillingly swallowed up by the field there coming off of pit road. And now Mitch David getting up to speed. He's got fresh rubber underneath him. And he's got a lot of momentum as well. So, trying to... almost running into the back of the Alpine livery of Andrew Belling as Stephen Lee trying to put the pressure on him.
Trost is going to pick up the lead when everyone pits.
So looking at how Clendy and Pablo is working together to try to catch Trost, and they catch a little bit. They getting close and close and close.
And Collins and Aquila are going to get maybe within 10 laps of the finish before they have to pit.
Maybe so. It's been an amazing fuel save run for Collins and Quilla. I'm wondering how it will work out for them. Working lap 55, and you guys were calling it. PDF and Kyle Clemworth are now working back and forth there. And they're turning laps equal to Trost at the moment. They've got just about two and a half seconds to work on.
Ty coming to pit road, so it's going to turn the lead over to Trost.
Yeah, both Collins and Quilla are coming in. Trost will take the lead of this race.
Back over to turn 1 and 2 here. We got 6th through 13th, literally under a blanket. 3 rows, 2 wide so far. Well, 2 rows, 2 wide. There was an instance of 3 rows that were 2 wide, but not anymore. That's a little bit close there.
Everyone getting squirrely at the end of this race. We're working lap 57, caution free as it has stood. PDF and Clendy trying to work on catching Trost for the lead of this race.
Go through the field real quick. There is Trost, and he's being tracked down by now PDF, Clendy, and Campbell. They're in a group of 3 together. Murph has worked his way up to 5th in that battle, that angry set of bees there going on with Murph, David Lee, Kurnow, Belling, and Hollenball. Even back there as well, as we got Seb Alexander and Trey Shadid.
So I have a question.
Go ahead.
So how long is gonna be the help each other, Pablo and Clendy? They have to stop in 1 point, and also Campbell. They waited back. They don't do nothing. Just waited to catch Trost. So how long is gonna be this partnership to the end? So they need to fight it for something.
Yeah, they gotta go all the way to the end.
Yeah.
Now they just gotta run them down.
So who's gonna take the advantage of there? So could be Pablo said, "Oh, you know what? I don't want to help you anymore. So I want to finish second now."
My thought there is they're going to save it till about 5 laps to go, because after that, that's the point of no return. When if a caution were to come out at the end of this race, that's game over.
2 seconds.
With 5 laps to go. So I'm imagining when it ticks over to lap 66, these guys are going to be going at it hammer and tongs at the end of this race. If they can't catch up to Trost, it's still wheel to wheel there. Is Clendy now regaining second spot, but I think it's going to be in another 5 laps or so.
Oh, Clendy, no, it's out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Clendy's out.
Clendy is out. He's had a connection failure.
No.
You know what? I want to say that Clendy need to that points
He
for the
did.
championship. Oh my God.
Oh no. He is going to be fuming. I guarantee you he is going to be furious of his internet connection failing him there. And now it's turned it over to PDF and Brian Campbell to fight it out for second, hopefully to run down Trost, but it's running out of time.
I think he so Pablo or Campbell have to, you know what, it's 2.6 on the front, so I either want to catch him in 7 laps. So I think so the battle is going to be there.
Yeah, I think at this point, with the gap as big as it is, these guys are going to start fighting it out rather than working with each other here. Because unless we get a caution literally right now, it's not going to be the 1-lap shootout that I think everyone would love to see if we did get a yellow.
And should be worth mentioning, with 7 to go, and I'll bring it up very, very quickly on the screen. Here is the point situation in the Oval Series. Trost is your leader, and then he's being pursued by pretty much all of Rogue Racing. Clendy is in second, but now he's out. Campbell will probably look to gain here. Quilla is in 4th. Tracy did 5th. Jacob Collins is in 6th. For Porty, Lichtenberg, Alexander, Robert Malechka, that is your top 10. And I've been told that all of road racing should be in the top 10, but right now Antonio Estrada is on world tour at the moment. He's in he's over in Europe, so he's out highfalutin it with himself and his wife, and decides that he's going to let racing wait for a while.
Good life.
I know.
Mm-hmm. You got to enjoy life at some point.
Oh yeah, of course.
I saw his pictures. They were in Monaco and just doing the whole southern France tour and everything. So hope he's having a good time.
So look at that, Pablo.
Who are we talking about?
Yeah. They're going to be for it now. Pablo and Campbell. Campbell holding the edge at the moment there, but PDF, they were going wheel to wheel pretty much the whole lap there. Lap 67 now.
Unfortunately for Pablo, he burned the tires with switch with Clendy, so easy for Campbell to take the second position over there.
Possibly, but Campbell also had to deal with dirty air quite a bit on that second stint here, so the blade could cut both ways on that one from between these two, so they're going to have to fight tires. As PDF now, look at the run he's getting. He's looking to the high side now off of 2.
Trying to get that run as it go through 3 and 4 here. I don't think it's going to be enough. He's going to have to fall back in line behind Brian Campbell, but I'm also looking behind them at this battle for 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. It's getting pretty dicey back here, but there's also another big group here between Halaba, Shadid, Belling, Alexander, and for Porty. So we got battles all over the place as we're on lap 69. He's coming to the white flag.
1 to go. Brandon Trost with a 3-second lead. The battle is on for 2nd. The battle is on for 4th. And the battle is on towards the back of the top 10 as well.
It's been a bad week for Allied sponsored cars, but here comes one that's going to capitalize on this win. Is Brandon Trost.
Oh no, he followed.
Trost with the win, but Campbell. Oof. Dicey move there at the end, but Campbell holds on to 2nd. PDF in 3rd. Mark Murphy will get 4th, and Mitch David 5th.
Makes sense on Pablo, almost.
Caution free. No commentators first.
Indeed.
That's how you do it, guys.
And Trost giving us a burnout, of course.
Here are the final results from Las Wages. Brandon Trost is your winner. I don't have the exact count for him, but I think we're in the 1150s now for the veteran that has, I think, 3,000 starts combined. So Brian Campbell finishes 2nd. Pablo Diaz-Francis getting 3rd there. We watched him battle all race long. Mark Murphy comes home a very quiet 4th. He came in to the pre-race show to talk to us and did complain about his pace, but I think he's doing that as a regular thing now. So I think he has a bit of a thing he does every Monday where he comes in, complains, and then he just goes out on the racetrack and then shows that he has nothing really to complain about. But he finishes 4th. Mitch David, great finish for him in 5th. Stephen Lee, I believe he was our biggest gainer. Stephen Lee up 13 spots to P6 there. Jordan Kurnow stayed in the top 10 pretty much all race long. He finished 7 spots. He was up 10, but he got to that top 10 pretty quickly. Tracy is 8th. Matt Hollenball is in 9th. And Seb Alexander is in 10th. Moving on to the next page. The Mailman is in 11th. Belling 13th. Quilla and Collins, both the Rogue Racing teammates, 13th and 14th. Ward 15th. Hessie is in 16th. Roman Zini 17th. Newcomer 18th. Clindy with the DC, unfortunately, in 19th. And Bryn Roberts, not sure what happened to Bryn, but Bryn will be classified in 20th.
think Brandon registered, but never made it in. So
Okay.
Yeah, I think so as well.
All right.
because I'm looking at the connected list here, and it doesn't even show that he connected.
Okay. All right. So, unfortunately, did not make the race. But let's see. Brian Campbell is in chat. Oh, no, there is Pablo Diaz. We will bring PDF up in here. First, let's go ahead and cue out the music. There we go. All right, Pablo Diaz Francis, will bring him up here right now. Pablo Diaz Francis, PDF, welcome to the booth. Bit of a long race for you. Did improve 5 spots, but the undercut by Tues is kind of what decided it all. And then it was up to you and Campbell to try to run him down at the end. And it looks like you guys kind of ran out of tire and ran out of time.
Good evening, guys, once again. Yeah, Brandon with that typical early pit got us. Yeah, at the end was quite hard because he made a huge advantage, huge gap, and sadly that Glendy got disconnected for some reason because we were catching him.
Mm-hmm.
Like 2, maybe 3 laps, and we were in his slipstream, so maybe we could pass him. I don't know, because tire wear was a thing, you know. Brian got me in 3 and 4. I had to leave while I was on the inside because I would run him over if not. So yeah, and Brandon got that with early pit, but I'm happy. I did a shit qualifying. I started in P8 and managed to be at the podium at the end.
Well, despite a bad qualifying run, you're always a good racer. Got up into the top 5 really quick, and then we're up among the leaders in almost no time, kind of running 3 wide with Campbell and Trust. Any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go?
Always to my team, Neki Racing Team, Javi, Neki, and Ibardi, as always. And have a good one, guys. Thank you for the broadcast.
You got it. Thanks for being here. Congratulations, and we'll catch you at the next race, which is Milwaukee.
Oh, see ya, boys.
See ya. Yeah, he was not happy with his qualification run, apparently.
Nope.
Let's go ahead and bring up Brian Campbell. Hey, Brian, we got you here in the booth. Finished second today, but we'll talk with Trost about the strategy he decided to go with. You decided to go out as long as possible. Were you thinking about coming in a little bit earlier when you saw Trost come in early?
Actually, no, I wasn't. I was just discussing with him in the waiting room. In the very first race of this week, the same exact thing happened, and I came out of the pits a second behind him. So in my head, I thought the same thing was going to happen again, and I'd be able to get him easily in the draft. I just learned he missed his box in the very first race. So take that second, he was ahead of me. It was actually 3 seconds, which is the 3 seconds he was ahead in this race.
Wow. Okay. Well, that would do it.
Yeah. I didn't think about pitting early. I feel like every time I pit early in these races, I get caught out by a yellow. And I was already giving up a little bit by being the leader and not hitting a fuel number.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured that risk would be worth it. And I just didn't get a yellow. So you live and you learn. Got second. So I can't be too disappointed with that.
No, not at all. And it's the start of a good week for you. You got a long week of other racing, of course, a 500-mile race on Thursday. So we'll get you. We'll let you go to get prepared for that and everything. But congratulations on the P2. Good luck at the Elite Racing League's Indy 500 on Thursday, and we will see you next at Milwaukee next week. But any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go, sir?
As always, Rogue Racing. I'm really excited to run with Clendy and Jacob in the 500 on Thursday. Hopefully one of us Rogue Racing guys take it home and
oh yeah,
take the $100. That's the goal. So putting in a lot of practice for that, and we're just hopefully we can capitalize on it.
Well, we will see you over on the ERN network on Thursday when myself and LGN and Mark Janes from the IndyCar Network will be on the call on that one as well. So maybe you get to hear your name get shouted out by Mark Janes. That'll be pretty cool to hear. But we'll see you Thursday. But congratulations on the run today.
Thank you, guys. Have a great one.
And we'll bring up the pit master today. Here he is, Brendan Trust with the win with the huge undercut. I guess you tried it earlier in the week, and it didn't work because I guess Campbell was telling me that you missed your pit stall and you had to kind of back up, and it cost you a little time on pit road. But today you nailed it. We actually watched you come down pit road and hit your mark spot on. I'm guessing you made up your mind pretty early that this is what the strategy you were going to go with again, since you tried to repeat it from Monday. When did you decide, or when did you discover that really the undercut was the way to go here?
Well, the setup is awful, and you can't pass the leader on the same tires, so you got to do something different.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that means you got to beat them on pit road. So I decided I was just going to do an undercut this race the second I qualified outside the pole. Like, once I wasn't the pole, I knew I was going to do an undercut.
Well, once you got that undercut, we noticed right away that you were cutting at some points 0.3 a lap off what the leaders were doing, and we kind of knew that the longer that Brian was going to stay out, the more of a deficit it was going to be for him, and that's exactly kind of what happened. So it kind of everything worked into your plan. No one else really decided to take that same gamble as you did, and it paid off big time. And you two are also in the ERL Indy 500 later this week, so it's a good start to the week for you. P1 going into one of the biggest races of all of the IndyCar community for the entire year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that race. It's going to be a difficult challenge. I made some mistakes in not understanding the rules in qualifying and got myself buried in the field. So starting 21st, I'm going to have to put a lot of effort in because I don't think the setup quite suits my style there. So I'm just going to probably have to take it easy and try to be there around lap 150 and hopefully have something at the end.
We'll definitely be watching for you when we're on that call. But any shout-outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to for the win here at Las Vegas?
I'm just going to go ahead and shout out the whole field for a caution-free race. That's always a nice thing to have.
Yeah, it was a great race.
And it was a pretty good race from what I saw. It didn't really seem like there was a lot of incidents or anything, at least where I was at. So shout out to everyone.
Yeah, there were a couple close moments, but everyone did a really, really good job. I will definitely echo that. Well, congratulations on the win, and we will see you next when we call the race over on ERN for the ERL Indy 500, the 13th running there, and we will see you next week as the points leader, once again, as we are in the middle of the season, the dog days, as they say, and we'll be going to Milwaukee next, and we'll see you there.
Yeah, Milwaukee will be fun. I like the track. If it's like last season, it's just going to be who qualifies up front, just like always. So going to have to work on my qualifying, of course, but that'll be interesting. Brian's really good at qualifying. He keeps getting these poles, and it makes it challenging.
Well, something tells me that you'll somehow pull through. So we'll catch you next week, man. And best of luck in the 500. We'll see you on Thursday for that one.
Have a good one, guys.
See ya. Well, there you go, guys. Just a caution-free race, by the book interviews. Everyone seemed to be fairly happy. Realized that qualification was king here today.
Indeed, it was, and good calling on Brandon Trospar as soon as he saw where he qualified. And it's one thing that we definitely see on the mile and a half. So if you qualify well, you can definitely hold them off for a win. Campbell, though, took a gamble on it. Didn't quite work out the way it should have, and that leads to some lost wages, as it were. But Trost, though, he had a game plan going into it, and that's really in a game of skill. In a game of skill, really, in racing like in poker, you got to have an idea of what you're going to be playing when you see the cards you have in hand, and Trost did that. So. And even more so when we go to Milwaukee, because as Trost mentioned, Milwaukee is a lot trickier to make passes work. You can definitely do it, but as we saw last season, It's definitely a challenge, and with Campbell riffing off pole positions like this, he's going to be in contention yet again. I'm going to keep an eye on him throughout the rest of the season.
JP, any final thoughts from the home track?
For once, there was not a commentator's curse. I am actually surprised. It actually went caution free. Some pretty good side-by-side battles that we had. I'm surprised that everybody was able to get amphibious with their line. I figured there would have been probably a little bit more chaos, especially going over through 1 and 2 because of the tunnel, the turn where the center of the corner, where the tunnel is, having settled since 2007 because of all the dry desert heat, the rain, you name it. Even at times where we get 4 weather systems in one day, snow, wind, rain, dust storm, you name it. But other than that, I'm looking forward to next week. I will say this, though. I will not be here to broadcast for the season finale when we go to the second meme race. But basically, I don't own the track, and I kind of don't want to really buy it. But I'll be here for the podcast and what have you. But other than that, anybody who says that IndyCar racing, especially even on iRacing, does not provide the best competition, are you kidding yourself? Are you serious? This is right now. I'm just going to say it, and even the late Dan Weldon said it when the split was still going on, so to say. And he said it about NASCAR and the difference between the IRL IndyCar Series and NASCAR. I'm just going to say it right now about our series. When it comes to the NIS Open and Fixed, as well as the iRacing IndyCar Series, as well as the IndyCar Oval Fixed, Indy Open Road, you name it, even the Indy Butt Kicker Pro Series, this is the best competition in the world. Mm-hmm. We have the best drivers. We put on the best racing. You basically get the best bang for your buck.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Well, LGN, for me and you, the next time we're together, it's going to be for that Indy 500 on over on the Elite Racing Network. Everybody, if you have not done so, make sure to go over to the Elite Racing Network and either set a notification for their 13th running of their Indy 500 or just subscribe to the channel, ring the bell, and it'll notify you when you go live. But we're going to see Trost there. We're going to see Brian Campbell there. We're going to see, let's see, who else is there? Seb Alexander will be in that race. Jacob Collins will be in that race. Clindy will be in that race. We're going to see some of the same guys we saw here kind of up front challenging for the win in that race. And a lot of those guys that we just talked about are going to be buried deep in that field just because of the way qualifying was for the Indy 500 over on the ERL. It was very hot. And the later you went, the faster you went. And like, remember, Clindy has like the fastest speed of almost the entire starting 33, and he's starting in the last row. So we're going to have quite a race on Thursday, and if today's any indication of what to expect, Thursday's going to be a lot of fun.
I have to do my homework, so maybe tomorrow I'm going to check the track, the setup and things, and see what is going on and around the track. So Piñeiro, the pole sitter for Thursday, Jordan Owens and Presley Sora on the 3 row. So it's gonna be excited. Piñeiro, second time on the pole position, but he can't win nothing yet. So last season on 2024 A, he finished on second. Kelvin Benzi won the race. So let's see. I hope I said to Diano, if you win the race, could you please come to the interview? I will try. So yeah. So he never he don't want to show up because he's not speaking really good English. I think so. He's speaking English, but it's like I feel awkward.
I don't speak very good English either. So he should join the club.
Mean fail English? That's unboxable.
Well, I am not speaking good English actually. I try to my best to be normal. So yeah, it's gonna be excited on Thursday, Elite Racing League channel. So we're gonna be out there at 7:30 with all the things to 3 hours to see who's gonna be a win.
Gonna be
Yeah,
3
the
hours,
13. Yeah, the 13. Maybe less if it's caution free. Who knows?
We'll see.
Like
Yeah,
we
we got
saw
into
today.
almost lap 100 or so last time when we had the race there before we had our first caution. So we shall see.
It's also gonna be fun for me and Stevie this week because literally 4 hours from now, me and him literally have to head to the airport and head to Atlanta, Georgia, and a racetrack out in Brazil.
You guys doing the Petite Le Mans. So good luck there, guys. Good luck.
Yep.
Well, let's wrap it up for tonight. That is it here from Las Vegas. Your winner, Brandon Trost. Ryan Campbell finished second, and Pablo Diaz-Francis finishes in third. Join us again next week as the series moves to Milwaukee for round 7 of season 4 of 2024 of the IndyCar Oval Series. Tuesday night top split coverage begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern. We only got a couple more weeks of this 8:15, and then we're going to move to 7:15. So be ready for it. I think Indianapolis is our last race that we're going to be at 8:15, and then the first race after Indianapolis, we're going to be at 7:15. And I believe that first race is actually going to be moved to Friday because that's election week. That's going to be election day. So look in the description. Look in the description. I believe I have that all the reminders. So just keep in mind that we're going to have a time change coming up here soon. And then we're going to also have a temporary move of our strength of field race just to avoid the election day coming up here. So just keep that in mind. But next week, we're again 8:15 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct broadcast time in your area, you can find everything right here at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy. They require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval action nearly sponsor-free. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar racing, and we know you do, and if you enjoyed our coverage of the IndyCar Oval Series, and we know you have, please make time to visit our GoFundMe page. The link is in the description, and donate to our 2024 broadcast fund. And we know all of you haven't yet. So if you haven't, please do so. There's still time. We realize times are tough, so any contribution we greatly appreciated. And we thank you for watching and making us a part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. If you're new, click subscribe, and while you gotta hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of other P1's other iRacing programming, including our Wednesday doubleheaders for the next 2 more weeks. You can join Mark Murphy and Ryan Eric King at 7:50 p.m. for the Votive Racing League's Boomer Button Boxes Indy Oval Series. Or you can join me and Josh Bittner an hour later at 8:50 p.m. for the latest round of the Vigilante Racing League Truck Series. We are in the playoffs. Playoffs? Yeah, we are on the playoffs. So you have a choice now of what to watch Wednesday nights, and it's all right here on P1. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with the Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter and Instagram. As always, links are in the description. So, for Stevie, for JP, for LGN, for everyone here at P1, and everybody here in the league that showed up, good to have you here. Thanks for bolstering a good lineup. We had an awesome strength of field today of a 45.72. So, again, thanks for everybody for showing up. I am Gary Gatto, and I want to thank everybody for watching. Good night, and all of our men and women serving, if I could say it, in the military and as first responders. Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Milwaukee for the next race of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split on P1. Good night, everybody.